My name is Jeannie. I'm a physical therapist with over 25 years of experience helping people to move well, feel well, and be well. If you're new to this channel, I hope that you will subscribe to it, make some comments, put likes on it, and even put some ideas for topics that you would like me to cover for future videos. So today we're going to be talking all about posture, which is something that is super important. So I want to pretend, I walk into one of my teenagers' rooms and this is pretty much what they look like. Yeah, that's right. On their phone, all curled up into basically the fetal position. This is the way that they are. Oh, wait a second. Let me try to make this be a little bit more authentic of a teenager's room. Parents, you're going to understand this. First off, on their bedside table, they probably have about every single cup that's in the household that you can't find, filled with a variety of different volumes of fluid that you don't even know what it is. Also, let's just throw in some random wrappers. They tend to be all over the place in their room, in their bed. Who knows? Right by the garbage, of course. Garbage is right near their bed too. And let's not forget all the clothes. All those clothes that are usually around and almost, that's right folks, almost making it into the laundry basket. So now, oh wait, let's not forget about some food too, because there's usually food in the bedroom somewhere too. So now when we look, yep, now we've got the appendage of the phone, and this looks more like a teenager's room. But seriously folks, we are going to talk about posture today. It's not just our teenagers who end up sitting like that, but it's also us adults. We spend a lot of time sitting. So give me a moment to clean up this teenager's room and we'll talk about sitting posture to begin with. All right, so we are back talking about posture once we cleaned up the lovely teenagers' rooms. So anyways, most of us like to sit and we're basically in the fetal position. We have no support for our back, or oftentimes if you're sitting at a desk, which a lot of people since COVID are working from home, they tend to sit on the edge of their chair with their feet behind them like this, leaning forward. All of that is bad news bears for our posture and our back. So what can we do? First off, start at your lumbar spine. So you need to make sure that you can sit at the very back of the chair. Now, if you're vertically challenged like myself, most chairs that you're going to sit where your back is actually at the back of the chair, your feet can't touch the ground. It's very important for your feet to be supported. So if you're at the back of your chair, and your feet aren't touching the ground, just grab a little stool. You can use a phone book, if they even have them anymore, not sure. Encyclopedia, probably don't have those anymore either. Or you can use this little bench from IKEA. Just slop your feet right on there. Automatically, that's going to adjust your spine and put it in a much better position. Now, if you don't have a chair that has proper back support where your back can be completely supported, you can use a towel. They do have lumbar rolls as well, but if you just take a towel and roll it up, put it in your lower back, in your lower lumbar spine there, it automatically helps. As soon as you support your low back, your lumbar spine, everything else follows suit. So if I'm rounded in my lumbar spine, everything else is rounded. But the moment I get upright in my lumbar spine, everything else kind of pulls back. So that's a great start. The other thing to think about too is that you want to imagine that your neck is long, almost like someone has a ponytail on the top of your head and they're pulling it up straight. You want to have this long neck posture. You don't want your shoulders shrugged either. You want to kind of have them relaxed. So just aligning yourself properly is going to help you to be able to have much better positioning and help you so that your low back is not going to be as sore. Now, as we have talked about some of these neck positioning, I can tell you all day about how to keep this posture, but in about 5 seconds, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start to go down again. Why? Because these muscles aren't used to working. So today I want to go over 5 simple exercises that can really help you with your posture. 2 neck strengthening, 2 neck stretches, and what I consider one of the most important exercises of all If you forget anything at all from this video today, remember how to do a hinge, because it is the single best exercise to improve your posture in your neck, your mid-spine, and your low back. So, all right, so we're going to talk about how we can strengthen these deep central neck flexors to help you to be able to keep this neck elongated when you're sitting. So first off, as I've mentioned several times in some of the other videos, is you want to make sure that you start these exercises with gravity eliminated. So we're going to do them lying down. That's always easier when you're first starting to learn how to do an exercise, to do it lying down and take gravity out of the equation. Okay, so we're going to start by lying down on your back. Now you'll see most of the time when people lie down on their back, their chin kind of tucks upwards, right? And that shortens your neck, especially when we're sitting and slouching. All those muscles in our neck are actually shortened, but we want to teach them how to get long. So again, the same theory, you want to pretend that someone's got a ponytail, you got a ponytail on the top of your head, and someone is pulling that ponytail upwards. And this positioning you're doing is actually gliding your head down, okay? So imagine someone's pulling that head and you glide the head backwards on the table. Now your head does stay in contact with the table the whole time. What you're going to notice is that this actually makes your chin kind of tuck inwards. Now you're not going to use these neck muscles and really strain and do a direct chin tuck. That's way too powerful and way too much. You just want to simply glide your head back on the table. And then you're going to hold that position for 5 to 10 seconds. And then you're going to relax. Okay, this is called a head glide exercise. Again, it is trying to help to strengthen these deep central neck flexors, which help to elongate your neck. Because most of the time when we're slouching and we're sitting, we have this really short neck. And we don't want to have that short neck. We want to try to be able to support our big old head with a nice strong neck muscles. Okay, now once you get the idea of how to do this head glide, you can actually add on to it. So you can take a band and you can put your elbows right by your side and grab a hold of that band. You'll do your head glide position and then you can pull away. So now we're doing our head glide position and you're bringing your hands away from you, kind of squeezing in between those shoulder blades at the same time. So you're working those postural muscles in your neck and in your shoulder blades. So you just go back and forth. The closer you hold the band, the harder it is. So kind of play around with the resistance a little bit. And you're going to try to do 10 of those. And after you do 10 of them, then you'll relax. Another exercise that you can do to build on this is to have your arms straight up in the air. So same thing. You're going to head glide, and then you're going to pull your arms apart from each other, and then back together again. Super important that you keep your head in that glided position as you're bringing your arms back and forth. Okay, so again, we're working those deep central neck flexors, and we're also working those muscles in between your shoulder blade, which help to pull everything back so you don't get those rounded shoulders. All right, so that kind of takes care of our neck strengthening exercises. What about some neck stretches that we can do? So you're going to sit back up for this one. And these are easily done in a sitting position. Basically what you want to do, we've got two different exercises that we're going to do. One's called your nose to your armpit exercise, and one is called your ear to your armpit exercise. One stretches a muscle called your upper trapezius. One stretches a muscle called your levator scapula. So basically what you want to do, I'm going to show you the stretch if I were to stretch out my left side. But you would actually do both sides. So you're going to take your left hand and you're going to put it on the edge of your seat or your chair, wherever you are. You're going to take your right hand and you're just going to put it on the base of your head. So the first exercise we're going to do is the nose to armpit. So basically what you're doing is you're going to lean away, you're going to turn your head towards your armpit, and then you're going to look down. Now you're not really pulling with this top arm, you're just supporting your head. This is also a really good chance to get a little smell check and make sure you used your deodorant today. So you're gonna hold this, and again, how long do we wanna hold a stretch? If you've seen any of my other videos, you will know the answer to that question. That is 30 seconds. Okay. Now, the next exercise we're gonna do is gonna stretch out our upper trap muscle. Now, our upper trap muscle kind of starts and ends all along this area. So at the top of your head, it starts and it goes down to the top of your shoulders. So again, we want to try to get that muscle from both directions. So that's why we're putting our shoulder down here, or our hand down here, to try to get the part that connects to our shoulder. And then with this one, again, you're going to take your right hand, put it at the base of your skull, lean away, and now you just tilt that ear towards that armpit and feel a really good stretch along that muscle. So to give you guys an idea of how long 30 seconds is, Brent, you're gonna let me know when 30 seconds starts. All right, so we're starting. He's gonna let me know how long 30 seconds is. It's actually a lot longer than what you think. Most of the time people hold stretches for about 10 seconds. They just don't hold it for long enough to be effective. The first 10 seconds of any stretch, you're usually fighting the stretch anyways. So you really need to be able to hold this for the 30-second time. All right, folks, that's 30 seconds. So that's how long you have to hold each of these stretches. So you're gonna end up doing both those stretches, 30 seconds, 3 to 4 times on each side. And now for what I like to call the most bang for your buck exercise. This has got to be one of my favorite exercises. So again, if you don't like any of the ones we've done, this is probably going to be one of the best exercises you can do. It's called a hinge exercise, and I'm going to show it to you from the side so you can get a better view of what I'm doing. All you need is some sort of stick. As I am a good Canadian, I've got a broken hockey stick here. But you can also use one of those Swiffer wet jet handles. You can use a yardstick. You can use a golf club or a broom. Just make sure that you have the part that has the club, away from your bottom, because that would not be very comfortable. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the edge of your chair, okay? You're going to have your feet about shoulder width apart. The whole idea of what you want to do is to use the stick here as a guide for where your head, your middle, and your low back should be. So it doesn't matter which hand you use to hold, whether you use the right one or the left one with the upper or the lower part, it doesn't really matter. The key here is that when we have poor posture, this is what it looks like, right? Our head is forward, our thoracic spine is rounded, our low back is flat, and you can see the stick is nowhere near any of those parts of my back. So what you want to do is be able to get your head, your middle, and your low back against the stick. And then you use the stick as a guide and you hinge forward from your hips. Now, as you hinge forward from your hips, you want to maintain your head, your mid, and your low back against the stick the whole time. And then you come back up again. So what this does is it really helps to teach you how to have good posture. So again, head, mid, low back against the stick the entire time as you're hinging forward. And then come back up and really try to keep all 3 points in contact with the stick. So most of us, when we move, we have poor posture. Our head comes off, again, we're rounded. This is way off my low back. But that's not the way we want to move. We want to move as if we've got this stick completely along our back. And that is really the way we want to move. Now, when you get really good at this, then you can actually choose to do it even in standing. You can hinge forward. And again, you keep those 3 points in contact, your head, your mid, your low back, and then you can come back up. So you can actually squat like that. You want to teach yourself that this is the way we want to move. We want to move as if we have this stick constantly up our back. So we want to try to keep everything in that straight alignment. So again, if you forget some of these exercises, this hinge exercise is probably the most important exercise because it really does make a difference to help you to realize how your neck, your mid, and your low back should be positioned throughout your daily life. So hopefully you learned some new things today and continue to tune into this channel and like it and subscribe to it. Again, give me some ideas of different topics that you want me to cover. And just remember, you can't spell party without PT. So I'll catch you next Friday. See you later.